everyone. First off, I just want to say thank you everyone for really engaging in our discussion this week. That was awesome, and it really seemed like you guys gave a lot of thought to our questions. So I just wanted to go over a review of the first question that we asked, comparing and contrasting the descriptive and assessment as well as the FAs. And so it seemed like there was really a theme that flowed across everyone's discussion points. And it seemed overall people were feeling that the descriptive assessment was best used as kind of a supplement for an FA, and its advantages were that you got to see the nuances of the antecedents or consequences of the problem behavior, like in the natural environment, and how the natural environment comes into play, and you're able to kind of assess behaviors that you might not necessarily be able to do through an FA. Behaviors like aggression or SIB, you might not want to do in an FA if you're not really equipped for it, because in FAs, a lot of times the behaviors are kind of at their peak, and so you might not want to put the client or the student in a situation where it's unsafe for you or them. So descriptive assessments are really good for times like that. Some disadvantages that you guys talked about with descriptive assessments were the fact that you're not really controlling the antecedents and consequences. So you might not be able to really actually test your hypothesis or really see the true functioning of these behaviors. And sometimes someone mentioned how often in the natural setting these interventions might be kind of put in place to make sure, like antecedent interventions, make sure that the behavior doesn't occur. And so they said that it's important, even though in a lot of descriptive assessments, you're not supposed to be really controlling the environment and the antecedents and consequences. It's important to make the natural environment as natural as possible, and to remove any possible interventions or stimuli that have been put into place to control behavior, so that you can really see the behavior in its natural environment. So then for the FAs, a lot of you said that the biggest advantage of using an FA is the fact that you get to see the function and you're actually testing a hypothesis that you have created, and the data seems to be a lot more precise. You have more control over the consequences and the antecedents, which you don't have in descriptive assessments, like I had mentioned. And so overall, it just seemed like you guys felt like descriptive assessments were great to use, and they're great if you need a little bit more information, including after or before the FA, or if you aren't wanting to run an FA, you don't have the resources to do an FA, but the FA is kind of like your go-to assessment to really look at the functioning behind behaviors. So that's all I have really to say about our first question. Great job, guys, and I'll see you next week.